Hey guys, are you excited? I'm so pumped up. It's the best day ever. It is it's December December, I think it's the 13th. Yeah, Friday the 13th. It's been a really amazing year. I'm super excited and just really pumped up. And I'm really excited because today I actually kind of finished one of the really big courses I've been working on this year, which is super exciting. And I'm really pumped to do this year in review, because this year in review, it gives you a chance to actually sort of look at what's going on objectively, look at what you've achieved in the past, and I don't know, it's just phenomenal. It's something I'm so excited to do. And it's kind of the first year I'll be able to actually reference my journal and kind of go through on what has actually been happening on a day-to-day basis, and really reflect on what's been going on this year and look towards the future and what's next. So I'm really excited about it because it's just a phenomenal chance. I'm sorry, I literally just spent the past 12 hours streaming at a camera, so I was not able to do all the lights and all the cameras. I just chilled out. And in all reality, I want to send this out to you before I go on this big trip. And so, I just wanted to go kind of intimate and go deep with you. So I'm really excited just to go all in and kind of show you guys, what's going on, because I'm super excited about what's going on. And I know you guys might not see too much going on the channel, but I promise there's a lot going on, which is really exciting. So first, I want to step back to where we started last year. Last year, we look really early on. You guys know, we first published 9 to Noon, which is ridiculously exciting. I know the last yearly review video, I didn't talk too much about that because it got published, at the end of January. So just a couple of really big things to look back over that time period. One of the biggest things was working together with a ton of students and friends, and getting everyone to kind of come together and help edit the book, which is really nice. I also had to spend a couple of weeks creating citations because I totally forgot that maybe you need to citate the images and the references and the sources that you use. So that was really interesting. I walked in on my teacher and she was like, hey, I really like this image and it's cool that you're doing this, but don't you have any citations? And I was like, what do you mean citations? I just had none, which I don't know, you guys look at it now and it's 50 plus pages. It's actually about 50 pages of citations. So the book isn't really as long as it looks, because it's just a lot of citations at the end, which is interesting. Now, sort of after that happened, and after we had that, very quickly, you have this really big spike in holy crap, I just published a book, this is insane, huge adrenaline rush. And obviously a lot of, college stuff too, college apps and sort of some of that stuff that was going on at the time. And then it was kind of crazy because it got finished and it got out there, and I spent probably 30 hours trying to get the cover photo, and then I got it and then I edited it, and it's just this whole big process of actually figuring out how to publish a book, which is pretty insanely cool. And it was just a game changer, man. Within first 2 days of it being on Amazon, it was an international bestseller, which was super exciting, and just a phenomenal, so cool. And so that was sort of most of January. It was a lot of writing, it was a lot of editing. And then as soon as I finished it, I had a couple of days, I had a day reflection, which is huge. Take a day and reflect and think about what you need to do. Don't talk to people, don't eat food, don't do anything, don't work out. You can work out, just water and just thinking about what are the next logical things for me to do. So one of the first thing that came from that was this daily journal, which is I guess a second book, but really it's just a big daily journal, and I wrote a couple of pages at the front about how to use this daily journal. And then this space about long-term goals and stuff, which is phenomenal, and I'm really proud of this. This came out in March, which is actually kind of later in my journey than I was thinking. So I actually have a little bit of time to fill in here, because as I got this daily journal, I don't have anything in January, and I also don't have anything in February because it got published in March. So I got about a month of time here where I wasn't really reflecting on my past, and this is where I think kind of most people are. They're just going through day to day without a plan, without anything to follow. And so I'm really grateful that this exists now, because it's been very useful. We'll use it more. But I definitely have a little bit of time to explain here. So I think the first couple of weeks was a lot of fixing typos and stuff, and a lot of school. And it's kind of interesting because I released this book and I had this huge rush, and it was all this income, it was all this growth and success. And then I sort of just relaxed, chilled out, laid back, and said, wow, it's done. I can't believe it. It's a lot of work to write a book. especially your first book. Once you get to the first book, I don't know, it's way easier. I'm working on a second book. I'm gonna start second book in January of 2020. I'm pretty sure, which is gonna be exciting, and that should be much easier because now like you know the process, right? So at the time I sort of got saturated. I got back into the daily groove. I got back into, you know, going to school, doing homework, and all the crap that most people are focusing on, but it wasn't really actually like, getting me anywhere faster. And so what was interesting is definitely started track, right, which is awesome, love it. That was a big time commitment, and I sort of started just like going back to swing trading, going back to investing, going back to making just quality investments, and so that was sort of February. I didn't spend like too much time focusing on writing. It was really just like getting, you know, and honing in the skills of investing. And also a lot of scholarships. Definitely a lot of scholarship applications. I think I did like if you guys don't know, I applied to 70 colleges last year, and then I think this January to February stretch, I did about 200 applications for scholarships, for merit-based scholarships, school-specific scholarships, academic scholarships, sports scholarships. I didn't get like any, which kind of sucks. I did get an unsubsidized federal grant if I wanted to take a 6%, 7% loan, which is kind of a bad interest rate, so probably not going to happen. But yeah, it kind of sucks, I guess, to sort of think that I invested all that time into getting scholarships and then I didn't really get any. But, you know, I don't know, I'm better at writing now, I guess. I don't know. You write a 100,000 word book and you get pretty damn good at writing. So, I don't know. It was an interesting experience to see that, like, you know, you can put a lot of effort into something and it can yield no results whatsoever if you're not providing a significant amount of value to the marketplace. With these scholarships, really what they're looking for are, you know, like, unfortunate-ish people usually. Just depends. I don't know. A lot of the ones I was applying for, like, were pretty high up leadership ones. And a lot of them actually, you know, net some really great results, which I'll talk about kind of soon, sort of in April, May. But they didn't actually, you know, lead to any scholarships, which kind of sucks. But you've got to put yourself out there, and you've got to apply, and you've got to try. And if you do that, you're going to be solid. You just keep going through the process, and eventually you have that big payoff, which is pretty exciting. Now, what's cool is sort of after, you know, the January, so everything in January is done, and then February was mostly like scholarships, and then school, and then I think spring break was sort of in March, so it doesn't count as February. I don't have a written record of it, which kind of is harsh. And obviously I spent that time actually creating this book. This book was, it took a lot of work to make. It's a lot of formatting stuff. And obviously writing and publishing. I'd say probably about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you know, it probably take about a month and a half to actually write this. So I guess this kind of counts as like also what I was doing during that time period was creating this, which I'm really proud of because I can use this literally every single year for the rest of my life. This photo on the back is like some super special pen, and I love it. I like spent so much time in Photoshop doing things on my own. And at the time I didn't really know about like hiring people or freelancers or having help. I didn't really, you know, understand that like I didn't have to do everything myself. When I was publishing I knew like I was doing everything myself. Photo design, you know, cover design, the page layout, the formatting, the editing. And I didn't really know a lot of the stuff that I've kind of learned this year, which is really, really cool. And so we'll get into that kind of soon. But that's sort of what happened sort of February, kind of March time period. And then we kind of get into like actually having a journal, which is super nice. There's obviously, you know, during this time period, travel back and forth, you know, track all the time. For most of the work I was doing is really just spend time with family, but most significantly it was basically just investing. And it was sort of my own investments at the time and just kind of focusing on overarching swing trades and growth. Less in crypto this year than prior, obviously just because of this huge crash, but also because a lot of the volatility has kind of gone away, which is harsh, you know, it's difficult. And I'm definitely excited to see sort of where crypto goes now that the crash has gone down and everything's kind of back where it is normal level. So hopefully there'll be some more crypto trading next year, which I'm excited about because it's just super fun market to be in, very volatile, very fun. Definitely some of the investments I made have been absolutely blowing it out of the water, which is awesome. The challenge for me sort of in this time period from about March to April was all of my assets were held under my parents' accounts in their names. And I didn't understand some of the stuff I wrote about 9 to Noon about having like child accounts, UGMA, UTMA, stuff like that. And I didn't know that like I'd have an account as a kid. And so I didn't actually have direct management control over my assets. And at the same time, my dad obviously wasn't here, but my mom, like it was really sort of a hard relationship, hard connection, hard time to connect. And so because of that, I really didn't have a whole lot of access to like my account because I didn't actually own the Fidelity account. I didn't actually own the account the assets were in. And so it was tough because I was literally, I think I might have talked about this last year. I was starting up like this stock pick service where I would like pick the best stocks ever. And I was doing, 10 stocks a month or something like that. And putting all my effort, all my energy, all my time into picking really, really solid outperforming investments. And then, seeing how they perform and using that as performance history to sell that into the marketplace. And I've learned a lot since then and also developed a lot of principles going through a lot of the education I'll talk about later in marketing and stuff. And what's cool is like I was focusing all of my attention on that and publicly declaring the investments I was making it all public, showing everybody, being like, this is it, and if it goes up, we're gonna crush. If it goes down, like I want you to hold me accountable. And so I took some of my closest investing, mastermind friends and really made them hold me accountable to those investments and made it feel like they were real, even though in reality I wasn't actually able to execute those trades because I didn't have direct access to any kind of financial institution or brokerage account, which kind of sucked. But at the same time, I'm still kind of fueling that passion of investing, which is really, really, really cool. And so that was like early March, late March, and then I get this daily journal on August. I get it, or in April. April's after March. I totally forgot. So obviously it takes some time to ship in the mail. But now that I actually have this journal, I think I'm going to be excited because I can actually understand what I was doing and look at my daily goals and all that stuff. Okay, so I got this journal on April 10th. Awesome, cool. So at this point, what I was really trying to do is figure out sort of how to turn, because what happened is like at the beginning you publish the book, you get a ton of sales, and then sales kind of tapered off and we're dying out, and it's weird. I think it's like it's an expensive book on Amazon, and so I think that might have been one of the reasons behind it. Another reason behind it is like there's a lot of people that kind of sell like bad investing advice, and so I think it was sort of a higher barrier to entry into the education for most people. At the beginning, you price things high because like early adopters will pay that, and I had people that literally weren't even reading the book that would pay that just because they wanted to support me, which was really cool. And those were like close friends, teachers, students, people that were in my sphere of influence, and the ones that I had most direct contact with once it like actually was published. And so after you have that big surge of sales, his sales kind of they were just tapering off, and it was like still a phenomenal time. But I was thinking like, how can I I feel like crazy saying this, but I was like, how can I, make money with online? And it was like so weird because, stocks were obviously absolutely amazing and they were crushing it. But the challenge was like, I didn't have access to investing. And at the time it was April, my birthday was late April 29th, right? And so like I wasn't 18 yet. I didn't have any of my accounts. I could not open an account. I didn't know about childhood. Well, I did know about childhood accounts, but I wasn't going to open like a UGMA and then transfer it when I was going to have like be 18 within like a month. And so I started researching like how to build an online business, how to build like an online business asset, and scale and grow. Because personally, I've been really interested in online businesses and stuff like where you're selling, with e-commerce, you're selling courses, you're selling products, for a very long time, since I was probably 15 or 16. And I saw tons of people making a ridiculous amount of money online, just like selling stuff. And the challenge was like, you can't accept credit cards until you're 18. And even if you have a company or corporate, like Menards, like I had like a corporate LLC or whatever for that, like I still couldn't accept credit cards until I turned 18. I really tried. I was not able to do it. And I didn't want to lie and say it was my dad and then have like tax on his stuff. And so decided to like, this was the time. I was right about to turn 18. And so I could finally start to learn about like building an online business and really, like online marketing and sales and business assets. And so I put a lot of my time, my effort, my energy starting sort of in late March, probably halfway through March and then into April. That was where we started getting into like online marketing, and starting building a business asset, which is really powerful. And so like the first thing that I'm starting out with here is like working on developing like an internet email marketing business, which is really powerful, and then learning about stuff like funnels, and learning from platforms like Learn, and reading, you know, online marketing books, and listening to podcasts from online marketers like Russell Brunson changed my life this year. And I started to, you know, like getting into programs, like the PWA program, Partner with Anthony, right here. Going through that program was a game changer. Totally changed my entire perspective of like actually building a long-term online business. And I started reading books like Tools of Titans, and really going hard. You guys saw here on YouTube, I was making a ton, and still making a ton of book review videos. I'm reading about a book it just depends. It's usually 1 or 2 or 3 a week. And at the time I was doing about 3 books, 4 books, 5 books a week. And so I was making videos about all those, and then learning everything in those, getting better and better at comprehending information. And then also getting really, like starting to get a foundational education in online marketing. And so those I'm really proud of, because I really wanted to focus on YouTube this year, and I think I did a really great job. And we'll talk more about that in just a sec, but I mean, I passed the 100 video mark, which I'm really proud of, because 100 videos is pretty much the hardest thing to start with. And then once you have 100, then you scale with 200, 340. I mean, the 100 is the first like point where YouTube says, you know, people below 100 videos are fake, they don't count. People above 100 videos are like super cool, and they're awesome. And so I sort of started to really go hard into that. And I was also learning so much about email marketing and funnel building, and like developing like online sales funnels, and using those to, you know, create an online business, and finding out, you know, how to get lead sources and follow up with clients, which is really sweet. And you know, there were clients and stuff like that, and Track was awesome, but it kind of all came down to like getting really getting into like internet marketing, Google Ads, getting really good at just building an online business. And so that's where like a lot of my work in April went, was learning about, you know, online marketing, and also learning about like affiliate marketing, where you sell other people's products. Very powerful education there that I would have never thought of, where you can like actually, you know, recommend other things and then get compensated for that. Really powerful way to sort of jumpstart your online business, which is pretty sweet. So that was sort of the basis of April. A lot of it really stemmed, again, from the Partner with Anthony program, which I kind of made a video about on here, which I'm excited about. And then also learning a lot from Learn, L-U-R-N, from Onyx Singal, and listening to his podcast. And they have so many free courses there, which are phenomenal. They're so valuable. And I went through probably, you know, 10, 15, 20, like every single free course they had. I would go through all the courses, and then I would look at like the more expensive ones, and like definitely thought about investing in some of them, but to me, like, they just didn't seem like they were the right fit. They didn't seem like they were what I really needed. And you know, if you're gonna drop $2-3 grand or something on courses, or even $1,000, like I want to make sure that it's like teaching me something that A, I don't already know, but B, that it's really going to be what I want to focus on. Because when you make really big investments like that, especially when you don't have that much to invest, you know, you've got to really be decisive. You can't just spend like a couple grand here, a couple grand there. I mean, soon enough you get to zero. And even though you're investing in your education and yourself, like, you still need money to drive traffic and ads and all that stuff. But definitely learned a lot about this year about personal education, and so we'll get to that soon. But yeah, just really kind of learning a lot about funnels for sure, and advertising. Advertising was huge. So like Google ads, Bing ads, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, Brandzuka, video ads, direct mail, not direct mail, but like direct ads. I mean, direct mail is kind of earlier and later. Just really getting good at like marketing, which is pretty sweet. Definitely some really cool skills, and it's super useful to kind of have these. Yeah, a lot of stuff here. A lot of the videos on here kind of talking about, you know, what are the marketing things I'm learning, because, you know, marketing is you know, I see it as like building a business asset. It's one of really the best ways to really quickly generate income. With the stocks, like I'm struggling still with the PDT rule this year, which is a shame, but I've got like 3 or 4 accounts that I'm all using to day trade. And so that's really helpful. That's really awesome. I'm trying to sign up for offshore brokers right now, but it's a tough process to go through, which kind of sucks. Well, I'm working on it. But they also charge way more than domestic brokers. So I'm really hoping to get over the PDT rule soon and start scaling, you know, trading. But we'll get more into that soon. So the focus here was really sort of on, you know, learning about ClickFunnels, which has changed my freaking life, and then learning sort of about the world around me. A lot of really deep books, and sort of the books that I've been watching on here and putting up on here, they all kind of came around this time period. And then also going through the One Funnel Away program, which was like, oh my gosh, so powerful. That was a total game changer for me. I'm so grateful for it. And I learned about it sort of in April. I also got to go on a ski trip over spring break, which was ridiculously fun, and just phenomenal time. Very, very grateful and thankful for that. And then sort of learning more really about marketing, and then skiing. Oh my god, the skiing was so much fun. I love it. I'm really happy to be able to go through that. It was a phenomenal time. And then kind of getting back from ski, I had to focus a little bit more on college, because this was about decision time for college. I needed to figure out where I was going to go, starting to get basically everything done. And so this is kind of around the time when I decided that I was going to go to Georgia Tech, which is like cool. Didn't really get into any like the big Ivies or anything like that. So I'm really happy with where I'm at. It's like they're like number 1, number 2 for computer engineering on the planet, which is pretty cool, pretty insane. And they just have a phenomenal program for entrepreneurship, which is sweet. Then kind of learning, about a lot more reading. Definitely a lot more reading towards the end of the year when I actually started finishing a lot of this online marketing stuff. Some big trades on Coke. Some big swing trades for sure. And also getting stuff done for like financial aid and CISA profile. Just sort of some of the more important things that had to get done for just college stuff, just general aid, which is kind of cool. And there was a lot more stuff with like emails, trying to figure out how to get set up with online businesses, which was really cool. A lot of fun things here that I'm really happy about. And then obviously there was some school stuff. As always, there's school stuff. But a lot of it was like learning and growing, and definitely a lot of books. I think especially when you're starting out, like, you read a lot of books, you consume a lot of information, you go through a lot of, training and growth at the beginning, just because, it's just so powerful. Because you learn so much when you're young and then apply it for the rest of your life, which is why I'm really excited to be sort of investing in my education right now, which is just awesome. And then sort of some some fun stuff, dates, birthdays, books, having a good time, going out there crushing it. Lots of really fun, just educational stuff. And going through some more courses, some more training on affiliate marketing. Definitely went through a lot of that. And so, that, and then One Funnel Away. Then I finally turned 18, which was really exciting. This is one of the, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And then doing some cool college stuff for Georgia Tech. Learning a lot from Jay Abraham. Definitely listening to his podcast a whole lot. Definitely really helpful for getting into marketing and in business. Him, Dan Sullivan, some really powerful educational content. And then this is sort of a lot of track stuff, banks, having some fun, having a good time, and just getting ready, a lot of work sort of getting ready for the end of the year, getting ready for graduation, setting up all the party stuff, and also sort of just some really great training for affiliate marketing again. So getting really good at that and using that as a way to build online businesses. And then, working on some family stuff, which is important. And then just thinking about, how I was going to distribute the book and how I was going to get the book to more people, because that's really my passion, right? That's the goal. Then sort of May starts, and in May we're still again focusing sort of on affiliate marketing, building an online business, working with business assets. Just a really phenomenal time. And learning a lot about like how to really get great at building an online company. I mean, I'm going to say that a lot this year, but that really was my big focus this year, was really, building an online business. Because for me, like, obviously I was still in high school for the first half of the year. And here's the crazy part. Okay, so I'll get to college in just a sec. But basically when I got in Georgia Tech, like I got in Georgia Tech, it's like, yay, you've been accepted. And then it said, oh, also you have to come during the summer as well. So like school for at college like started like 2 weeks after school and high school ended. So we'll get to that in a sec. But definitely a lot of really great books on here. You guys can kind of see the upload releases of the books that I've been doing lately, or the books that have been coming out this year. The book reviews, definitely a lot of really great things here. A lot of seminars, local seminars that I went to. And then just a review for like these big, AP tests, and really trying to master marketing, but at the same time, get some solid grades in school. I guess is kind of important. And so then you get like college credit for that stuff, which is really, 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 really nice. Definitely some more training with ClickFunnels and Brazuca and just marketing in general. And then the One Funnel Away and partner with the Anthony Challenge again were total game changers. Those are kind of what I was going through and finalizing here. They were about 1 month programs each of them, and I actually finished a ridiculous amount of the One Funnel Away challenge on May 12th, which is pretty sweet. Just a phenomenal time. And then calculus, stuff like that. A lot of focus on just finally finishing school. And then starting to actually apply some of the online marketing stuff I was doing, starting to actually drive traffic, starting to really go and just crush it. And then there's prom, which was super fun. Man, this is so cool. Then I met Mike Sass, which is so exciting. Really cool. He runs like this super awesome nonprofit in the financial education space, and talking with him and learning with him and sort of understanding where the perspective he was coming from. And then also, getting really, 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 just really deep with Russell Brunson and learning about funnels, and really getting solid online marketing advice from him, which was awesome. Definitely learning some more about with affiliate marketing. Jack Rastani, big influence. Learning about sort of the systems and the practices that he uses to sort of automate and build his own online business, which was really, really powerful and inspirational. Then after that, I started just a lot of like video editing, and then also learning about outsourcing. The One Funnel Away Challenge was a big game changer in that kind of regard in my life, because it really introduced to me like the power of outsourcing. Because sort of when I was starting off, like I never really understood that I didn't have to do like everything. And so because of that, I was always the only person working. And until I learned from this challenge and from Russell Brunson that like you can actually do things together with others. I mean, that was a game changer for me, because I realized like, whoa, I don't have to do everything. That's pretty sweet. And so I started like learning and lurking at like outsourcing. I also started this this e-commerce company I'm working on right now called RGB Gaming Plus, which is like selling like RGB gaming peripherals, which is super, super cool. Because now that I'm 18, I can accept credit cards and start building like funnels to actually sell products really, really well, which is exciting. And then learning, about the sourcing for the products and all that stuff, finishing the funnels, and then sort of setting up big bonfires and burning away. You guys saw that fire, like burning all that college mail. That was basically like kind of one of the last days, I think, that I was at home. It was a track banquet, which was awesome. Gave that speech, about running in the rain. Oh my gosh, what a great story. That was a phenomenal day. So much fun here. So great. And after that, we had some great time, building relationships, investing in relationship assets, which was awesome. Just having a phenomenal time, sort of wrapping up the year. I mean, if you guys think about it, it's like having big parties, wrapping up, senior year of high school. It's pretty cool. A lot of books, a lot of friends. And I actually went on a really big trip with two of my buddies, Jack and Kenny. It was awesome. We went to this big anime convention in Atlanta, which was like super, super cool. Just having a great time. And at the same time, in the mornings, I would wake up at like 4 and I would record the audiobook of 9 to Noon. So I was definitely getting into that, moving some of my stuff over here from North Carolina to Atlanta for tech. And so also like going to that super cool convention, MomoCon, which was like, so much fun, so many friends, so many good times. And then at the same time, recording the audiobook and then working on publishing that. And that was for about a week. That was about a week-long convention, and then just working on the audiobook every single day. Audiobook, a lot of work went into that. And then kind of got back and we're setting up like day trading platforms and getting really, really solid results in that aspect, and sort of transitioning back into trading because the school year's almost over. And when the school year's almost over, that means I can trade 9 to Noon, which is so exciting. And then so my aunt came in town, which was super exciting, and I learned about the world's largest trading competition. And you guys might have seen the video on here about it. And so I learned about this competition, and it was going on for 2 weeks, and it was the 2 weeks like from the end of school to the start of college. This was the 2 weeks when I had like actual time I could trade 9 to Noon. And so for these 2 weeks, I decided, holy crap, I can enter this competition and literally win 6 figures if I win the competition. which is super cool because the person who actually ended up winning it only made like 25% in a week. And like, dude, I can make like 10% a day. Like, I can crush this. I know I can explode. And so I entered this world's largest trading competition, which was so exciting. And then sort of on the first day, I mean, I tell the story kind of in that video I made, but basically the story, long story short, so I'm in this competition and, you know, I'm doing everything I can. I'm trading, I'm investing, and I absolutely, like, I'm just trying to crush it. And I end up accidentally getting disqualified because of a little bit of a technicality in the rules of the competition. And on day 2 or 3, like, I get kicked out of the competition, and that was really harsh. That was devastating, you know, because I don't know, I really, like, honestly, looking back at it, I'm kind of happy that it happened, because I don't think anything else that happened this year would have happened if I didn't lose that competition. But I know, like, wholeheartedly that I had every skill needed and deserved to win that competition. But the world, but in reality, you know, the world doesn't actually owe you anything. And I learned that. It was a hard lesson. I really pushed for that competition. But unfortunately, it just didn't happen. I got kicked out, and it was a hard time. It was a really hard thing to happen. You know, going through One Funnel Away and learning about like hooks and stories and offers, I was like, dude, what if I could be the guy who won the world's largest trading competition? Wouldn't that be a phenomenal way to teach people about personal finance and investing, and like sell the book and courses and stuff? And then it just washed away. And I think one of the reasons it washed away was sort of because, like, I really cared about this competition. And I think that, you know, in my own mind, I cared a little bit too much. And when you care too much, it can really hurt your chances of getting the success that you want, because, I don't know, it's just a big concept I've been teaching kind of in these courses. It's been really impactful, and, you know, it's kind of hard looking back at it, because, you know, I put everything I had into this, and it was tough. You know, I was trading all day, which I think was probably my first mistake, because I sort of went away from trading 9 to noon and decided I would go all day, which, you know, it doesn't really work as well as just trading 9 to noon, just doing what works. So definitely a lot to learn there about sticking with proven systems and practices and what actually works. So yeah, I mean, that was May, and definitely a lot, you know, learning from mentors and Russell specifically, and really going through the One Funnel Away challenge, and spending a lot of time with family just because I was about to leave. And then there was a really big graduation party, which is really fun. Very grateful for the family for setting that up. It was very kind, really cool. And then everything kind of changed. I was basically listening to podcasts while I kind of moved out all my stuff, and then sort of just finalized a lot of the things at home, turned in, you know, library books, stuff like that, went through, really finished the One Funnel Away stuff, which was awesome. And then after I finished that course, I was really trying to spend a lot more time with family, and consulting with a couple of clients, but mostly it was packing. And then on June 4th, you know, I finished a book, finished packing while listening to Marketing Secrets podcast, which freaking changed my life. And I left. I left home, and I think I recorded my 3rd or 4th podcast episode leaving home. This year I launched the Stock Market Secrets podcast, and right now I have about 115 episodes, which is ridiculously exciting. I'll talk more about that soon. But yeah, I mean, just left, and just gone. So that was kind of a tough thing. I talked about it in the podcast, but yeah, it was pretty intense. So then driving to Atlanta, driving to Dad's house, here at Tech too, and then sort of, you know, unpacking everything. And you know, as I was unpacking, like all these bags and going through this whole trip, basically all I did for 6 straight days was listen to this podcast, the Marketing Secrets podcast, and it totally changed my life. And I'm so glad that I had that time to do that, because, oh my god, game changer, total game changer. And so much quality information about building an online business asset. I mean, it's phenomenal. So that was a really big shift. I finished podcast on June 7th, and then I went to the Atlanta SCORE mentor. They have like this thing you can go with the government, look up SCORE, and they'll like let you sort of have a meeting with a mentor, and it was super useful for the company. And I was like, awesome. And basically I was like, what do you think I should do with Monero? I was like, I don't know what I should do at the time. And he was like, dude, I don't freaking know, sorry. And I'm like, dang, that's not that helpful. So a little bit of a letdown, but definitely a great experience speaking with someone that had more experience sort of in the tech investing space, and just getting out there in front of more people. And similarly, doing just a lot of work here to send out emails. So this is when I started sending like daily emails and really getting into the nitty gritty of email marketing and driving traffic to SqueezePage. Got like 400, 500 email subscribers, and was just sending an email every single day. So learning about that and learning what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. Writing, I mean, I know I'm like a national bestselling author, but like writing, not my favorite thing. Not my favorite thing. But I mean, after that, like I moved, which was awesome. And then I started kind of implementing a lot of the things in the One Funnel Away challenge, started building online businesses, which is awesome. And then working with friends, working with others. Definitely like cold calling a lot of people, especially newspapers, like trying to get advertising, trying to get clients for some of the One Funnel Away stuff. They had this idea where, what was it? So you get like advertisers in the paper. You figure out like which ads are running over and over and over again, and you use that to figure out what winning products are, and then you sell winning products. So like trying to scalp a bunch of those, and then also trying to finish the audiobook, which was awesome. And then just like plan, reflection and growth. Finished the audiobook again the next day, and really calling newspapers, really getting more into like selling stuff on eBay that I didn't really need. That I kind of moved over but didn't actually need. And then getting set up with CMES, like the Instant Email Business System, which was really cool. Definitely a lot of insanely cool things that have come out of that. I'll probably put a review up here or something about that program, but really a phenomenal opportunity that I kind of figured out on June 12th, which is pretty sweet. So that's kind of how June started, was getting into online businesses. And also this was sort of the first day of summer school. And it feels so weird saying that because like half of the freshmen go to the summer semester, but this first semester, went to school, and I was biking to school every day. It was about a half-hour journey back and forth, and that was when I was starting to record the podcast. So I recorded an episode going to school and an episode coming back to school. And apparently the wind is super bad in them, but you know what? I freaking did it, man. I'm really proud of those podcast episodes. I did that for like 3 months while school was going on. And then really we're focusing on like building companies. And then after that, it was just a lot of work, getting into school, getting into businesses. I was really trying to trade stocks. Basically, I had class 9 to noon that I could not, I really tried to schedule class around 9 to noon, but I just wasn't able to do it, which really sucks. So basically I would have class like 2 days a week, 9 to noon, so my trading was kind of off. I really tried super hard to trade during class. It was kind of tough though. And then the other 3 days I was trading every day, which was awesome. I loved that, best time ever. So really getting back into investing, and also doing some cool, initial school stuff, like, getting everything set up, getting in the system. And really getting Russell Brunson's books, which changed my freaking life, and modeling and sales funnels. Getting, mentorship at Georgia Tech, which is awesome. And really kind of focusing on sales. So for a short period, I spent probably about a month at this company that sells like online marketing stuff, right? And they do like, they build a website, and they'll do like your advertising, your Facebook and your social media stuff for you. And so because I was going to go and sell stuff for them, I spent like 2 days just going through like Cardone University from Grant Cardone, because it's like a monthly program, and so you can get like 15 days free. And so I spent like those 15 days going through hundreds of hours of his training and finishing the entire thing before I got billed, so that I would get it. It was kind of crazy. Definitely something interesting to look back on, because if you don't pay for the education you receive, then are you really going to value it? And in reality, I paid $100 for the first month because I did. Like, I got a ton of value out of it. Definitely cool to go through all that sales training from Grant Cardone. That was for a couple of weeks around school and around, working out and doing the email business stuff. So I finished that training, and then I went to go, sell stuff for that company, which is pretty cool, taking control of the stuff in your own hands. And then a lot of work with affiliate marketing and really setting up like those initial online companies after I finished the audiobook and some schoolwork, and obviously this Grant Cardone stuff. So I think that probably lasted until about the end of June. There's a lot of work learning about selling, learning about marketing, learning about closing, and actually finishing it, I guess, on June 29th. So yeah, and then I got signed up. There's Easy Local, and got everything set up with them. Went through the onboarding process, and went through all the paperwork I needed to start prospecting and really working for them, which was pretty cool. After that, I did a lot of work like uploading and editing YouTube videos, which hopefully like I won't have to do as much anymore, which I'm really happy about. But then just finding clients for Easy Local, for the company, and then also just working to get money flowing back up again, and putting a lot of focus. I don't think I had as much focus on trading in this time period, which kind of sucks. But I think one of the big reasons was, I was thinking, look, I'll just make a bunch of money with businesses, and then I'll be able to overcome the PDT rule, and then I'll be able to like actually trade. 'Cause it's making like 3 trades a day, and so if you make 3 trades a day, you can only trade like 1 day a week. And so that's what was going on here, is I was out of day trades. And so when I ran out of day trades, I would work on like selling and marketing and stuff like that. And so then just a lot of work, kind of prospecting, working, and then selling. A lot of like actual local marketing with Easy Local, and just walking into online local businesses, and just cold walk-ins, trying to sell stuff, going hard. That was sort of the beginning of July, and kind of everything just went through there. I was learning more about funnels. At the same time, I was getting just all this work done in the Easy Local, like just selling local businesses, consulting, and online internet marketing stuff. So yeah, definitely a lot of reading. As I finished the audiobook, I realized there was a lot of edits to do, so I spent a long time editing the book, which was good, because when you read it, you get a lot of the typos or the word choices that might not have been the best. So I was able to revise the book, which is awesome. Excuse me. And then I had a day reflection, and I realized, like, what an amazing day. What do I need to do next to take my business to the next level? And that was kind of when I realized that I needed to make extra courses and extra content and extra information to sell alongside the book, so that I could kind of follow the free plus shipping book model that I learned from Russell. And that was really, really powerful, and it was a big game changer. So I spent a lot of time sort of enjoying getting a couple of employees, some work done with Menards, and also just a lot of school stuff, talking with business partners, Mike, and planning stuff out. And then also For Our Body, freaking cool. So just sticking up with books, trading 9 to noon, which is the dream, and working on, there's some school projects that gave us some crap like that, but also really like Ubering to local businesses, and growing, doing more and more work with online marketing and selling these companies like multi-$1,000 packages for their online business, which was pretty interesting. You learned a lot about like what you actually needed. And I also decided I needed a briefcase. Man, that was fun. I also got this laptop, which I'm so insanely grateful for. Yeah. And then it was a lot of stuff with courses. I mean, kind of, I hate, but like a lot of my time went into school. But I was able to spend a lot of my time really, really focusing on selling this stuff for Easy Local. So, halfway through July here, and I am visiting tons and tons of local companies, like tattoo parlors, which I thought was kind of interesting. I never thought I'd be selling tattoo parlors website, but lo and behold, those were one of my first really hot leads, and setting up a bunch of listings in the area and just getting a ton of work done. Definitely kind of like grinding and working, and not really using scale or leverage as much as I wanted to, but what I was really aiming for was to sort of create like a lot of income, so that I could use that to get past the PDT rule, and then make some of my first investments, or just start trading more. Really, I mean, first investments, not what I meant. Definitely along the way here, I was sort of shifting my whole portfolio. So once I turned 18 and once I left my mom and came here, I sold everything for cash, and then basically took all of the assets I had, turned them into cash. And then I was sort of starting to do like 6-month option swing trades, which worked like basically 5 times the returns of my overarching long-term portfolios. So a lot of really great growth at the time, getting into option trading for the first couple of times, making some of my first really, really big options investments, which I kind of talked about on the podcast. But yeah, definitely scaling more into like medium-term swing trade management, which has been working out really, really, really well. This year I'm up about 218%. With that investment strategy, which has been working really, really, really well. So I'm really proud and happy to have that growth. But that doesn't take too long. Like trading and investing, especially with swing trades, it's, you know, maybe a couple of hours of research a week, and then you just kind of get the results. So yeah, that was that. I'm really, really happy with that. That was so much fun. Definitely doing a little bit more stock research here. You know, you got to understand your foundations and your fundamentals. And then I started to do something that was a game changer. I started to record content. And I kind of started doing some of my first courses and lessons in the studio. And there are two books that kind of changed my life. It was Think and Grow Rich and How to Win Friends and Influence People. And those two books were just massive, 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 massive influences. And I don't think I would have a fraction of the success that I currently have if I didn't understand those two books years and years and years and years ago and apply them. And so the first thing I did was I took Think and Grow Rich and I made a whole course on the entire book. And so that's what I was doing right here, sort of in July, around the midpoint of July. You know, I was having mediocre, but not necessarily stellar success selling online business stuff for Easy Local. And so because I wasn't having sort of the impact I wanted, I decided to follow what I was learning from the One Funnel Away Challenge from Partner with Anthony, and start investing in what I like to call video assets. Which is when you have like courses or trainings or stuff like this, where it's like private and you have to pay to access it, and it's like a paid, compensated course. And it's something that is really, you know, inspires me to put my next level of effort into it. Like, I'm not just gonna record like a one video and then make it that's it. Like, no, like it's gonna be in-depth, deep, you know, sketching out, drawing things out, multiple camera angles, like really deep, in-depth, actionable, passionate content. You guys might notice, like, I'm really, really, like, just a little bit tired right now. It's because I've literally been up and down screaming at cameras for 12 hours. And that's kind of what I started doing here. So I would spend probably about 14 hours a day working on these courses and really getting my first kind of experience creating legitimate courses, which was really, really, really cool. Definitely got me much more comfortable in front of the camera. And also just this course, this Think and Grow Rich course, is insanely valuable. It changed my life. It's changed the life of literally like every successful person I know. They all read Think and Grow Rich, and it all comes from the concepts and that. So I'm really, really excited to be making that, to have made that course on Think and Grow Rich. So that took, that kind of started middle of July, and then just kept working and working and working on that. Definitely some more sales stuff along the way, but most of it really was just kind of working on the course and putting in, basically I would wake up and I would record content for this course, and then I would go to sleep. And I would wake up next day, record content, go to sleep, training. Also, my stepbrother, he went to go to his first college orientation, so traveled with him over to coastal Georgia at the beach. And while I was there, you know, Anthony Morrison runs the Partner with Anthony program, and his brother Adrian Morrison has some really great books, some really great trainings. And so I spent basically like 60 hours going through all of the content I could find of his in the sphere of Facebook advertising and Facebook marketing, which is what he's an expert at, and learned a ridiculous amount about how to get really, really, really great at applying that online marketing, especially with like retargeting and growth. And scaling. So very, very, very powerful, actionable strategies that I kind of use there, which is really, 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 really cool. I'm so excited because I've seen how much money you can make with that. It's phenomenal. It's insane. You know, just like I've seen people that trade 9 to noon and make like $50,000 a day consistently, I see people that are investing in online business assets and they make $50,000 a day consistently, which is kind of crazy cool. And then a little bit more with Easy Local. This is sort of when my interest in them started to taper off. Like, I was really, really working, I was grinding, and I was getting paid only on commission, right? So I had to make sales or I wasn't gonna eat. And I just wasn't really working. I would literally knock on the doors of, you know, 50 businesses and walk into, you know, 50 different places, and basically exhausted all of my local businesses. And I know this idea that you just have to keep going, and I totally agree with that. But at the same time, I really wasn't doing something that I was passionate about. I wasn't doing something that was aligned with my long-term goals. And I looked at my time, I said, look, I can make this Think and Grow Rich course, or I can go and try to sell these guys on internet marketing. And in my mind, in aligning with my long-term goals that I kind of, you know, developed through Think and Grow Rich, I realized that it made so much more sense for me to invest in myself and invest in my business, invest in creating these videos and these courses that would change people's lives more so than making a couple $1,000 selling courses or selling online marketing. platforms and services to local companies. And also, I was spending like a couple $100 a week just Ubering back and forth to tons and tons and tons of companies, and literally walking into every single company I could find. And it's kind of discouraging to see door slammed after door slammed after door slammed. And I know that all you have to do is keep going at it and keep doing it, and you will have that success. But to me, after for like 100 people, 50 people, it's probably 50 people in one place, 50 people in another place, and just traveling, spending tons of money on Ubers and just having no return on that, I realized, like, is this really what I wanted to be doing? And for me, the answer was no. What I really love doing is investing, right? And for me, like, just selling stuff like door to door, it just wasn't fulfilling in any kind of regard, and it also wasn't netting any kind of results whatsoever. And I knew that if I kept at it, I would definitely get results, but I also knew that there was only a little bit of time left before I actually had to move to college full time, and I wouldn't really be able to have as much time to work on these courses and on the Think and Grow Rich course. And so I realized, like, I had to make a decision. I was either going to go all in on making this educational content, or I could, try to make some money selling some crap that honestly wasn't going to be part of my long-term mission. And I made the decision that I was going to work on the Think and Grow Rich course instead, and I kept working on training and podcasting and stuff like that. There was school stuff for sure, and reading and fun. What I would do is I would kind of like go through the book. I've read the book so many times. Oh my God, Think and Grow Rich just changed everything. So definitely a lot of work also setting up some of the first classes in school. And so there was a process to go through to sort of onboard and get some of my first classes for the spring semester as I finished the summer semester. And then from that point forward, I was really focusing most of the extra time I had. I wasn't reading in class because basically, like, all the classes were ridiculously boring. It was stuff like, there was this class on like GT1000 where basically all you did was learn how to write a freaking like cover letter. It was ridiculously stupid. I just looking back at it, I don't know, man. It was a really big waste of time. So I would just read in those classes, and so I read tons and tons of books, and then put all the reviews up on here. And same thing with like English classes. Like, dude, I'm a published author, national bestseller. Like, I don't know if I need to learn about how many lines are in a poem, or not even. Like, it wasn't anything new. Like, it was just really, really boring, and just totally useless from everything I could tell. Because in reality, when you get to a certain level of academic writing, it's like, dude, like, no one can understand that. There's no reason to write like that. So that was sort of an experience that I went through. And then just some other basic classes. I think the only other stuff I had was, oh gosh, I don't even remember. It must not have been useful. It obviously wasn't useful because I don't freaking remember it. So yeah, I mean, that was that. Oh! And then there was this really, really, really big National Achievers Conference, which was awesome. Oh, it was sociology. Yeah, sociology. Very, very useful. Very, very applicable. Very real life stuff. And then learning about like stuff like Think and Grow Rich, which was awesome. And then just recording that course. Trading 9 to Noon, which was phenomenal on the laptop while I was here recording in the studio, which is just so great. And then I spent 1 hour writing my English portfolio for my final submission. And then on July 26th, I got to go to the National Achievers Conference. It was just so freaking fun. After doing the course in the morning, that was phenomenal. That was a 3-day event, taking a ridiculous amount of notes. Total game changer. Everything out there was about building an online business, building, business assets. Russell Brunson was there. Freaking phenomenal. Loved it. Couldn't have been happier with it. It was insane. Everything I had been learning about in my process of learning about building an online business asset over the past like 4 months really came to fruition there. And just such an insanely cool amount of things learned there that I'm super passionate about. And hopefully I'll be able to make some more content about what I learned there now that I'm sort of finishing up these courses for you guys. Because there was just so much gold there. It was amazing. And also on one of the last days, they had this really cool seminar they had called like the Millionaire Mind Intensive. And so like they said, look, since you guys came here, you can come to that one for free. And so that was in a couple of weeks. So we'll get to that kind of soon. But that was July. And then just recording more Think and Grow Rich, more Think and Grow Rich, more Think and Grow Rich. And then just registering for school and stuff like that. Definitely meeting like clients and stuff, but again, most of that stuff was kind of fading away, and I was focusing more on investing. Really, 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 really great swing trades around this time. GE was awesome. And then also, like, oh my god, it was so fun. I gotta make sure this is the right time period. But yeah, I mean, we had this big trip where my mom and myself and my brother, I got to, like, everyone got to go to Disneyland, which was so fun. And then also in August, with my dad, going over to my grandparents' house with my brother, which was phenomenal. Working a lot sort of during that time period on making all the emails. So a lot of, like, the introductory emails that people get when they go to my businesses, writing, like, you know, dozens and dozens and dozens of emails for long form email autoresponder sequences for building sort of an online business, stuff that I learned with, like, the Partner with Anthony program, and then was starting to implement it. So I wrote, I don't know, probably, you know, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 words worth of emails, which is awesome. And that it contributes to about a month or two of constant emails twice a day, which is really a very, very valuable business asset. And then I started the slow carb diet, which was phenomenal. Based off the 4-Hour Body. I think I started it earlier than August. Definitely started earlier. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Tomorrow's cheat day, which is super, super exciting. I've been absolutely loving it. Sort of the same shape that I've always kind of been in, after, you know, getting into weightlifting, getting into cross country, doing track. Just staying swole, 6-pack. Definitely been focusing more on weightlifting now that I'm in college, just because that's sort of more my passion. And it's also a little bit more time effective than running for 3 hours a day, which is good, And then, yeah, you know, finishing the Think and Grow Rich courses, working with affiliates, affiliate marketing, and really a lot of online business stuff. It wasn't as fun as Disneyland. Disneyland, oh my god, so much fun. Such a great time. I love it. Oh my god. I'm very fortunate. I was very thankful for that. And then after that, finishing up the Think and Grow Rich course. It's a freaking long course. And then reading Fake, a lot of really great books. And then the Think and Grow Rich course, working on that all freaking day. And then the Think and Grow Rich course, just a lot of work. And also starting to do Facebook Live. So around this time, with One Funnel Away, there's this idea that you want to do constant publishing. And so because of that, I was doing, like, Facebook Lives every single day, which is something that Russell recommends. He says, you know, find a platform that you can upload on every single day. And so I was doing Facebook Lives every single day for about a month. And I think I'll talk a little bit more about how that developed in a little bit. But it was just stuff like what I was doing and recording and content and just some really valuable stuff. You guys can go check out Facebook and kind of see a glimpse at how that worked out and what a lot of that was. Yeah. Just a lot of great stuff. Then some more Think and Grow Rich. Went biking, which was kind of fun with that. I don't know, biking, not really my thing. Running's fun though. Running's really fun. And then, recording some more Think and Grow Rich, and sort of transferring over the files to get ready for editing. And then I think I actually got to finish it. So about a month, I'd say a month turnaround time from starting that course to finishing that course, give or take. Yeah, I'd say it took about a month. And I am very, 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 very proud of that course. I think it's a game changer. I'm so happy that it is complete and, oh, so cool. So yeah, definitely finishing up some stuff. My Little Pony ended this year, at least, you know, Gen 5 ended this year. So finishing some of the last episodes as they came out live when this happened, which is really, really, really cool. And then some more books, and then editing. I was really basically spending all day editing and reading and reading and editing and trading, obviously trading, and editing and editing and editing and editing the course. And then I realized, you know, I was going through this One Funnel Away thing, and they were always talking about, like, freelancers and how to, you know, expand your time by, you know, spending less time on things that weren't really, like, your unique ability. So for me, like, my unique ability is investing, and courses to an extent, and education, and finance, and stuff like that, and building assets. You know, my goal is to be, like, the king of building assets. And so, you know, I realized that, like, editing all these videos probably wasn't, like, my core foundational skill. And so, you know, I sort of went about hiring people, starting to freelance, and then also Getting Rolo labels so that I can like ship the books and stuff with like actual labels. So really getting more into like committing to e-commerce. And also watching Wall Street, very good movie. And then I got to start the Millionaire Mind intensive seminar, which was freaking amazing. Some insanely powerful content came over 3 days there from about August 16th to August 18th, which was just phenomenal. And at the end of August 18th, that was the day I had to move into college, move into my dorm. So I moved into my dorm, passed out, met roommates, which was awesome. And then a lot of focus on ClickFunnels. And so at this point, I brought in Nico, who's freaking best guy on the planet, to do my editing. And I am so grateful. Freaking coolest guy ever. And then sort of working with some people with Monero ads and looking at sort of the growth prospect for that company. And also researching kind of famous authors and how they did their marketing. Also kind of just as a side thing, I remember MomoCon, that anime thing. Like that was a really big convention. Obviously a lot of it was entertainment and gaming and just having fun, and it was really fun. There's a lot of cool things there. But also a big part of it, you know, besides from like the tournaments and stuff like that, a big part of it was actually networking. And I met a lot of people there that were like really high up in sort of game development stuff, and sharing the company with them and talking to them about what they thought about it and the So, I think this light's a little better. So it's kind of really cool to see some interest in that. And also to sort of meet some really high up people that, like super famous people were there, and it was really cool to see, you know, talk to them and understand sort of the perspective and the growth that they had. Like, you know, I was like conversations with the guy who's the voice of Mario and understanding sort of the principles that he used to really succeed in life. And a lot of other really high up guys, they were sort of teaching how they had life success. And so that was also kind of something I kind of glanced over, but a really big impact on me. And a lot of notes came from that. So hopefully I'll be able to share some of that content with you guys, which is super cool. Yeah, a lot of really valuable stuff there. So then sort of going through, learning about, you know, VC, a little bit of investment stuff, and then just getting better at ClickFunnels. And then I started actually writing the copy for the sales page for 9tonoonsecrets.com, which is phenomenally exciting. And then there was some school stuff I had to do, so I had to like read some books for school. And then I worked on sort of getting, there's this program at Tech called CreateX, which I am sort of in the final stages of right now with batch panel interviews and co-founders and all that stuff as we speak, and we'll know sort of by January how it works out. I'm pretty pumped. We're going to get a lot of funding from that, which is kind of exciting, really exciting. And so I started sort of working on the application for Monero Ads to get into that program, which is a startup incubator, which is super exciting. And then I started recording a lot of content. And so this was like YouTube content. You guys might have seen a lot of this. And then also some of the course stuff, but mostly it was, what was this content? I was recording a lot of content. Let's see. Learning from funnel scripts, which is part of the stuff I was doing with Russell Brunson, which is phenomenal. And then, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, so definitely working a lot on developing content for the sales funnels and really kind of creating those business assets and working on like the websites and the sales funnels. And this was after I invested in ClickFunnels and the 10x Secrets thing, and the really big, I mean, game-changing decision in my life was when I sat down and I said, look, I'm going to invest, you know, $3,000 in something that's going to change the course of my life and force me to commit to building a quality online business that will change people's lives. And you know, for me, like, that was a lot of the time. And so it was a really big commitment that I made to myself, and then I made to the work that I was doing, to say, look, I'm going to go all in on this program and on this platform and on this asset, on my business. So I went all in on that, and yeah, it changed everything. Really cool. So that's what really empowered me to actually start working on all this business stuff, as I finally got ClickFunnels, right? And then going through a lot of the additional training that came from that program from Russell. So a lot of his courses, which were phenomenally valuable, like exceptionally valuable. And that's what I was kind of doing, starting sort of, this is the end of August, so school started. And sort of at the end of August, I started going through a lot of Russell's courses. And so during the day, I would go to school and learn crap that didn't matter, like whatever. And then sort of the classes is just like math and like English and then more English, and then you guys know this. Maybe you guys don't know this. I guess I've been talking more about this in the courses. I've been recording so many courses lately. But basically, like, I started to register for all my classes, and freshmen registered last out of everybody, and basically I got stuck in like phase 2 registration. I applied 800 classes, and from those I could only get into 2 electives, which was statistics, which I already freaking took, and this English class about like early human development, and this other English class about early human development. It's literally the same class. It was bogus and whatever. So basically I was just learning crap that didn't matter and will never be used in my life over the past semester. And so I would learn stuff that didn't matter at school, and then I would go and I would trade stocks 9 to noon. I arranged my schedule so that I could 100% have all of 9 to noon to trade, 8 o'clock classes and then noon classes after that. And then at night, learning from Russell Brunson and going through those courses that I invested in. And then working on the business, working on RGB Gaming Plus, building up that e-commerce site, which is phenomenal, and then going through some more of those courses I invested in. I mean, you invest, thousands of dollars in a course, you bet your butt I'm going to pay attention to that, versus kind of my parents paying for college, and, it's crap that is completely freaking useless. I don't know how else to say it. So, yeah, I mean, kind of cool to see that, and, you get a degree from it, which is whatever. So this is kind of the end of August, still trading 9 to noon every day, which made me so happy. I kind of drew smiley faces here because it was just such a phenomenal time. I just love trading so much. And then going through kind of stuff like Traffic Secrets and some of the courses that came with the 10X, Russell Brunson, his package with ClickFunnels. And then at the time, because I was spending basically all night, every single night learning from Russell Brunson, I temporarily stopped going to the gym, which I really hated. The challenge was I would always, over the summer, I would work out every single morning at 4, just like when I was at home, I would work out every single day after school with the track team. And then at 4, weightlifting after that ended. And so over the summer, I was always working out at 4. But the challenge was the gym at school didn't actually open until 6, which I thought was bogus, but I'm not, whatever. So because the gym wasn't open at 4, it totally kind of messed up my workout schedule. So I stopped that for a couple of months while I was focusing at nighttime on learning this stuff from Russell Brunson, which freaking, yeah, it was a game changer. Yeah, so just working a lot on like RGB Gaming Plus and creating a lot of value with that, and sort of working through the emails, working through purposing a lot of the content and the giveaways, and then sort of integrating some of the foundations of building an online business and an online business asset, and some fun movies, fun dates, good stuff like that. But a lot of the focus was also on school. So I took this advanced standing exam for psychology where I took like a 5-hour test. I spent like 2 days studying for it, and I passed that test, and I will never have to take psychology, which was a requirement for my major. So now I took that one test, and that test counted for the class. So instead of spending and wasting 60 hours for a class, I spent probably 20 hours studying for this test, and then I crushed the test and was able to pass the advanced standing and get credit for it, which was super cool. And then sort of working now on designing the sales message for 9 to noon since I finished the RGB Gaming Plus, and really getting the sales copy down, and learning a lot about like stuff like funnel script just makes it so easy. So really glad to get that as part of the stuff I invested in for that package. Game changer, man. So much value. Ridiculous. And it was everything. I mean, that was all of it. So I went totally in on it. And then working on advertisements, which was fun. And then also doing some trading, which is awesome. And then really going through, again, courses about sort of building online business assets and funnels. And really, they were really powerful courses because these are courses that I actually invested in. And so because of that, not only am I going to pay more attention to them, but they're also very high quality, which is really nice. And then also learning about sort of how I was going to sequence the offers and all the offer stacks for 9 to noon, which is really powerful. And it all kind of came from the One Funnel Away challenge because it was just so valuable. It made no sense to go anywhere next except this offer. So then I was kind of looking at the screeners, assets, options, stuff like that, and planning for some master classes and some courses and some content and some books and stuff that I want to do. And then also going through funnel hacks over the weekend, which was phenomenal. Again, just courses from Russell, going through those courses, learning. about how to really build and scale an online business asset, which is phenomenal education. Then kind of getting more into the funnels and the assets and the businesses. This is over the weekend, so no trading. And yeah, there's a lot of homework. CS. Oh, I took CS. I forgot about CS. Yeah. Definitely maybe one of the more useful things, I guess. I don't know. I don't really like coding that much. Not really my passion. But at least it's actually applicable in the real world, which is cool. So yeah, just some homework, a lot of stuff there, and really just learning from Russell. A lot of his course, like basically all of his course. I went through every course he had. More education, and also planning my second course, which is like how to win friends and influence people, like a seminar, and then a book masterclass based on the book, and then a lot of stuff based off of basically the past 5 years of me learning and growing and applying all the information in My Little Pony, which has just been a total game changer in all aspects of my life. So started to sort of plan that, and studying for tests and stuff like that. But basically that was the foundation. I was really working on assets. As September started, what I was mostly focused on was building content that I could sell with business assets. Then September 14th, I had to do all my taxes for Monero, so I spent basically the whole day doing my yearly report. The fiscal year ends for our company at the end of June 30th, and so the taxes were due on like September 15th, so I did them on 14th. And yeah, we did all the taxes, worked out well. When you have an S corporation, you basically never pay taxes, which is really nice. And then learning more about like Facebook ads and marketing, and helping my uncle set up his online business, which was super cool. It gave me a lot more experience. And then there was a lot of school stuff. So like math, computer science, a lot of exams. So that was, and at the same time, while all this is going on, I'm always reading. So reading is critical. Reading is the key. So that was a lot of growth there. And then just going through more of Russell's courses and content. Definitely a lot of time commitment there, because building an online business asset is something that can literally change your entire life, and I know will provide a tremendous amount of income and change hundreds of thousands of people's lives, which is just something that I am so passionate about, so excited about, and it's just huge. And so I'm really thankful to be able to go through that after school and all that stuff. And also reading some more books from Russell and books that he talked about. Stuff from Vince James, some more online marketing stuff, sort of inspired by Russell. Oh, and there was Six Flags night, which was so fun. Everyone went to Six Flags, and we had this big party. Definitely a great little break at an amusement park, which is, oh my gosh, so much fun. And then working on, there's like math midterms and online marketing, a lot of stuff with like starting to run ads. I was running, my first 4 figures of marketing budget, and trying to test that and figure out how it worked, how it scaled, how to turn clicks into cash, stuff like that. So really great starting with the experience there, because you only really learn when you put the money on the line, which is pretty sweet. And then basically I spent the entire weekend writing out follow-up emails and building up email autoresponder sequences for online business assets, which is kind of just stuff I've been learning about. And then testing out of classes for sure, and also learning more from Russell. Microcontinuity was a game changer, something that I'm going to implement in my companies, and really the core foundation of the book business is based off that, which is a really great thing to learn from him. And then dates, stuff like that, having fun, doing math, and yeah, schoolwork. That was sort of the middle of September, towards the end of September. Trading every single day was phenomenal, love it. Every day it was amazing. And I also started live streaming all my trading a little bit more recently, which is super exciting. And I'm recording all those live streams, and I'll have them all edited for you guys soon enough. I'll have Nico edit them, and then those will hopefully be on here soon. Right now, and during this time period, basically he was, and it still is, editing a ridiculous amount of content. I ordered like the 3 GB not 3 GB. I ordered this 3 TB hard drive when I started this second course, and I filled the entire thing up in like the last month and a half, 2 months. So there's just an insanely immense amount of content to get edited, and so he's kind of backlogged, he's bottlenecked, and he's doing a phenomenal job with it, which is awesome. And so he's doing a lot of the editing right now for the course. So the courses for Think and Grow Rich, I mean, it's like 60 videos and days and days of content. And then for the How to Win Friends and Influence People thing, it's like weeks of content. And I don't know how it's going to turn out, but it's probably going to be in the tune of like 200-ish videos. I don't know. We'll see how it comes out. Definitely a bigger one because it's a seminar for 3 days, and I'll get that soon. But yeah, so kind of working on trading, homework. You gotta do like learn computer science and stuff. Definitely, learn a lot of computer science, which I guess is cool. And then 9 to noon sales copy, so writing the sales page. If you guys have seen like 9noonsecrets.com, you know, like there's a lot of stuff there. And the reason is because like that stuff is game changing, and I want to sell it as hard as I can because I know that if I can get that book into someone's hands, it will fundamentally change their entire life, and that's so powerful. So yeah, I mean, tests, trading, tests. And then also I learned that I could get a second camera, which I have over there. I've been using for all the courses lately, from the film studio at school. So that was really cool because I got this camera, which is kind of pricey, and so I didn't really want to go and buy another camera. But I figured out a way I could actually rent cameras and lights and all this stuff. So I've been doing that, and it's really, really upped my production quality for the courses, which I'm really proud of. I'm very happy about. And then also ordering like 500 books to bring into the dorm, 100 books to store in my dorm so I can sell them out and give them away for free, which is so exciting. And we actually went to this paper museum for school, which is super fun. I'm just kind of finishing copy and stats and freelance stuff like that, and getting a lot of the work done with the graphic design for the website and for the one-time offers and for all these extra courses that I'm doing, and sort of designing those upsell pages just like I was designing the sales pages within my online store, business, whatever you want to call it. But it's all assets, right? Then a lot of work, it's just a lot of work in ClickFunnels, a lot of work with scripts, a lot of work with visual content. But what's cool is, I mean, this is like literally the best day ever. Every single day. It was just a phenomenal time. A lot of really awesome stock moves. Donald Trump making some big moves this year. Crushing the market, which is awesome. So much volatility. Really just a phenomenal trade. It was awesome. And then, September 29th was a big day. This is the day when I filmed the sales video. You can kind of see it at 9noonsecrets.com for the book. And so I got a ton of B-roll for it, and then found a green screen room and went hard. And I've been working on that pitch literally for ever since I published the book. Like, I would get on airplanes coming to my dad's house and going back to mom's, and every time I was on the airplane, I was always sit next to somebody and talk to them, and over and over again, people would ask me what I like to do, and I'd be like, I like stocks and stuff, and they'd like ask me, about what I do, and I'd be like, I have this book and stuff, and they'd be like, oh, tell me about the book. And so I got really good at pitching the book, and was basically able to close like 50% of people that I would talk to cold. On my book, which is awesome because I learned how to sell it really well. So hopefully that'll translate into online sales with all of that, which I'm really excited about. I'm again finishing these courses. So there's like the book, and then there's the Order Bump, which is the audio book, and there's the Think and Grow Rich course, and then there's the How to Influence and Influence People course, which is the one I literally just finished today. And so sort of turning those into upsells, and then as soon as those are done getting edited, they should be done by January next year. And it should be done basically at the end of the year. And so as soon as that stuff's done, we're going to go live with advertising and really start marketing it with the affiliate marketing on the back end, which is really exciting. And you kind of see, like, once that starts, I'm excited because I want to see a lot of the work that I've been doing over the past year really start to pay off. Some of the wealthy people on this planet, they're really wealthy because they start off making very small amounts of incremental cash, but they get really good at what they do, and then they make a ton of money really quickly. And so it's this idea of like, does a bamboo grow? Bamboo, they literally sit in the ground for 30 years, and then in the last 6 weeks they'll grow like 12 feet in 6 weeks, and they'll grow 0 feet for the first 30 years. So the question is, do you grow 12 feet in 30 years, or you grow 12 feet in 6 weeks? Because you have to have this time for the first 30 years. You have to have all this time at the beginning invested, creating no results, to get to that end result. Or else you just won't be able to produce it whatsoever. So definitely kind of a cool concept there. I feel I'm really a lot of stuff going on, so really cool. Then working on the stack for the book. You guys can see it at 9 Noon Secrets, just this idea of like having multiple courses and products and audios and extra things that I give away with the book to make it more enticing. And then just doing a lot of work on the sales funnel. Just a ridiculous amount of work on the sales funnel. Like a lot of my time, a lot of my energy here, if it wasn't in math, it was going towards ClickFunnels and really building the sales page for 9 to noon, which is super exciting. And I also got to ride scooters, which is so fun. There's scooters all over campus. I'm so, so happy. A lot of great ways to save time by like investing in yourself. I talk about that on the podcast. Super fun stuff. And then sort of starting to work on designing the one-time offer pages and modeling those off of Russell Brunson and what he does. Just a really, really, really powerful thing that I was able to do, which is awesome. So yeah, getting really just working on ClickFunnels, working on the Think Grow Rich upsell, and then dorms and stats and the days, stuff like that, which is fun. And after that, there's a lot of work with just some schoolwork, English papers, stuff like that. But really most of my effort was going towards finalizing the one-time offer for the Think Grow Rich course and the sales funnel for that. Because it's really important that converts well, because I know that if that converts well, it'll empower me to get my book into the hands of literally tens, if not hundreds of thousands of more people. And that's really, really powerful for me. My goal really is to sell 100,000 books and get 700,000 in recurring monthly revenue from that. So definitely the big goal there needs to have a big amount of effort backing it. And then sort of planning the MLP seminar, which is awesome. This is the start of October. And then working with Facebook ads, and then developing the actual offer for the MLP seminar, and then designing a flyer for the seminar so that people will come and have an actual audience. And then designing a landing page and a website for the seminar. So I basically hosted this big 3-day seminar at school. And I invited everyone to come and learn about how to win friends and influence people and use the power of social skills, really kind of with everything that I'd been learning over the past couple of years, 5-6 years with My Little Pony, and how all that had changed my life with social skills and really helping people. And also started listening to Business Wars, which is a phenomenal podcast, got recommended to me by Russell Brunson. Really, really, really entertaining. So I kind of binged that. That was really, really good. While working on graphic design and stuff like that. I probably should have hired someone, but I think it turned out really, really well. I'm happy with how the flyers and the posters and everything came out, and how the website came out, and how the opt-ins, and it's just really great local effort. Then I kind of worked on sort of the scripts for the upsell, especially for the Think and Grow Rich upsell, and then just some homework, and then also printing all of the posters, and I printed like 10 posters, 10 of these giant posters for the seminar that I was giving. And I posted them all over the place, which was sweet. Something I learned is that like 8 of the posters got torn down the day of that I posted them, just because I wasn't actually allowed to post posters there, which kind of sucked. So definitely something to learn there about knowing the game that you're playing and the rules that you're in. I posted them all around campus, but they just kind of got taken down, which sort of sucks. But what are you going to do, right? So kind of learned a lot from that, which is really, really, really cool. And after that, there's like dates, one-time offers, stuff like that. A lot of math, definitely a lot of math. I got a 50 on my first math test, so I really, really had to study math. And also working on the audiobook, I think Rich Stacks, stuff like that. And then I set up the seminar location and went everywhere I could find, planning, scouting out locations and figuring out where I was going to get the seminar hosted and where I was going to do the seminar, and just talking to coordinators, event coordinators. That was a really, really big day. A lot of work with other people, going through like 15 locations, trying to find the perfect one for the seminar. And then I found it, which was awesome. And then just a couple days later, there was this big break. There was like Monday through Wednesday. There was no school. Monday through Wednesday. There was no school for some kind of break. I forget what the break was. But because there was no school, like the seminar was going to be like a 3-day seminar, starting on Sunday, ending on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I had to study for the CS final, or CS midterm, whatever. And so I was planning everything with the location, and then kind of studying for those big seminars and midterms that were coming up. Then I had an amazing day producing the podcast and getting a freelancer and getting teammates to work on that, which is awesome. And also getting like tons of fun stuff with Monstercat and licensing and music rights. Just a lot of work to develop that business asset and to drive traffic to 9 to noon and help people build real savings and retirements with quality long-term investments. And this is kind of about midway through October. And then I was basically just doing all the seminar planning, and then the Saturday, I basically spent the whole Saturday going back through thinking, going back through How to Win Friends and Influence People and reading the whole book again and really reconnecting with all the concepts and the topics. About the 5th time I think that I've read it, and I've been going through this book for years and years and years. It's a total game changer. So just a quick refresher before I gave the seminar, I thought it would be good to actually kind of read the book again. And obviously the seminar is like more based on My Little Pony, and so I kind of glanced over it, but I spent probably I don't think it was 10 hours, but definitely a solid chunk of time basically creating this 400 slide PowerPoint with like all the episodes and all the music and everything from My Little Pony, and like every single episode is like 220. And so teaching everything from there, and teaching everything from the movies, teaching everything from the extras. So I made that giant PowerPoint, and then refreshed my mind on all of the episodes and all the plots and all the stories that I actually taught in the seminar, which was awesome. And basically after that, gave a seminar. My plan was to do the seminar for like 14 hours every single day, and then get lunch and dinner and food and go home, pass out. The way it worked out in reality was the first day was 14 hours. The first day was like 12 hours because there was a little bit of a short time at the beginning. And then after that, the next day, basically, like a lot of people came on the first day, and then nobody showed up on the second day, which kind of sucked because it was a Monday, so I guess they had stuff, I don't know. Some of them had doctor's appointments or whatever. But basically, like, I did all this marketing and all this posters for the seminar, and I tried to send out an email to the entire school, and I spent basically a lot of time trying to get in front of all the counselors and trying to get in front of every single person I could find. I literally spent tons of time trying to get an email sent out to the entire school about the seminar. But in the end of the day, I wasn't able to get an email sent out after literally 12 hours of work trying to figure it out. It just didn't happen. I was not able to get an email out. And then again, all those posters got torn down. So I only got 10 people that registered for this seminar. Or I think it was, about 10 people. And of those 10 people, like 4, 5, 6 showed up on the first day. And basically nobody came after that. And I think kind of really was because no one actually like knew about it, which kind of sucks. I could have bought ads and stuff for it, but it was a free seminar, so I didn't really want to buy ads for it. And really the goal of that was to record everything and get it all edited and turn it into a course and stuff. So because no one showed up on the second day, I went a little bit slower, and basically I stayed up all night for like 20 hours recording the second day of the seminar, and then I passed out in the seminar room, and then I woke up the next day and like went through half of the third day, and then like passed out again and just went super ridiculously hard. Eating tons of protein powder and chicken, and just a crazy experience. Also, I kind of glanced over it, but I also spent a lot of time earlier in, I think, September, recording an entire class on like options investing and options trading, which is really awesome. Really proud of that. So that was another big thing that I did just with content creation for courses for back-end 9 to noon clients. And then some big trades for sure. Netflix, puts, a lot of good stuff here. Swing trades, tests, and then I got my Monaco card, which is awesome. I've been waiting literally 2 years for that, and it was really cool to see Monaco deliver. Very inspirational, and soon enough you guys will see the video on here. It's in the editing queen about that, which I'm really excited about because they're just so amazing, and I'm really happy with how that came out, and just a phenomenal project, and finally delivered, which is awesome. In the United States, a fully regulated crypto US-linked brokerage. I mean, everything about it is amazingly inspirational, and I'm so grateful to be in the presence of it, which is awesome. Really cool. After that, just a lot of work on podcasts, dates, stuff like that. A lot of fun trading, really great trading. And then just masterminds and trading stuff. A lot of cram. Oh, this was cheat day. I got to eat a bunch of candy and ice cream and chocolate, and so good. And then I started recording the book master class for the Think and Grow Rich, or not for the How to Win Friends and Influence People course. So it's like the seminar, and then there's the book master class, which took a very long time. So then I started recording over the weekends the book master class for that. Basically working on that all day, and also I made the background music for the 9 to noon video for the Secrets website, which is awesome. With some of the background, some of the very limited, but I do have a pretty solid background. in music production from a long time ago. And so I had some of the equipment I used, some of the keyboards, the MIDI controllers, and I just kind of used all that to make the background music. I probably should have hired somebody, but it was really fun. It was a good experience. After that, it was a lot of filming for the members area. The members area has a lot of content in it, so just working on a lot of the courses for that. And yeah, CS, math, stuff like that. But really the goal was to work mostly with ClickFunnels and on the stack and on the offers that I was offering for 9 to Noon and for RGB Gaming Plus. I'm working on the upsells for RGB Gaming Plus, e-commerce. I'm telling you guys, make a lot of money. It's really cool. And also sort of learning more about those underlying concepts, which is really, really cool and kind of powerful. And what's cool is like after that, that was sort of coming into the last periods in October, which was actually really, really, really cool. And as we started to transition into some of the best days ever, it was kind of really cool. Just spending more time with roommates, spending more time with friends, also doubling some positions with investments, which was really awesome. Some great day trades. 9 to Noon was just phenomenal. A couple of stocks this year just crushed it, which is awesome. And then just going back over the weekend, if I wasn't in school or if I wasn't in class or if I wasn't trading, it was recording this Win Friends and Influence People thing, the course, the book masterclass. I also went to this really cool startup mastermind that CreateX put on. It was a little academy thing, learned a little bit about some of the companies and a lot of stuff about like finding your market segments and segmenting your clients, which is really, really, really useful. So that was a really cool workshop that I went to, sort of invest in myself near the end of October. And then after that, just back to recording courses, recording seminars, recording a lot of bonus stuff. I actually went back to the seminar room and did a lot of bonus content for many, many, many days, which was awesome. And then it was sort of just working on that and the RGB Gaming Plus. Ooh, my bad, sorry. So sales funnels, right, yeah, so working with just RGB Gaming Plus and developing that. And at the time, I was kind of being pushed, because I had my mentor, right, and my coach, and so they were really, really pushing me hard to get this marketing stuff done, which I was totally doing, which is awesome. And then also just a lot of options trading and options investing, which was awesome. And then recording a course, sort of the Win Friends and Influence People class. And then a lot of work, again with my uncle, setting up sort of his online business, setting stuff up with Amazon, FBA, a lot of the stuff I have experience with, sort of last year with like the Ethernet cable stuff, which is awesome. And then after that, really it was a lot more work with just setting up corporate accounts and really getting ready to make some, investments, which is cool. So October kind of ended. At the end of October, I finished it up working with the online businesses and with RGB Gaming Plus, and really setting up that company to be ready to go and create its income, which is cool. And then on the last day, October 31st, which was Halloween, which is Dream Day, in the morning I kind of finished up a lot of the stuff I was working on for my uncle to get his stuff over on Amazon. He has like a ton of golf towels and tennis towels and baby towels, and so he's very, very heavily invested in inventory, so kind of turning that into cash with him. And working on some CS stuff, which was cool, and then just having some freaking fun because it was Halloween. I mean, let's be real, it was super, super fun, super exciting. So that was fun. Then after that, a little bit more work with Amazon, FBA, stuff like that with him, and then finishing up sort of the Think and Grow Rich upsell page. The only thing I have to do left is the video for the sales video, and then just trading 9 to Noon and setting up the membership site and setting up content for the membership site, and having sort of mastermind meetings and calls and stuff like that really help boost my performance, which is awesome. After that, it was mostly stocks and assets for a pretty long time. Really just working again on that Win Friends and Influence People class, and also just some general YouTube content you guys probably saw. I started to sort of scale down the amount of stuff I was putting up on YouTube, just because a vast majority of my time was going into these compensated premium courses. And it's kind of tiring to scream at a camera for like 12 hours every day. So just a lot of work, but it was cool. Definitely some great book. It might not look like it, but I've got like 40 books I need to put reviews up on. Maybe 30 books, maybe 20, but I don't know how many books. I have a lot of books that I've read that have been phenomenal. Definitely continued reading. I just didn't put any of the videos up because I'm recording the content for them, but they just haven't made their way over to my editor. And so I made the decision that I was going to have all my stuff edited by him because my time is worth more. And it's just not my expertise. I don't want to be sitting on a computer editing all day, and I'm already working a ton, and I don't want to, I would rather like enjoy my time doing what I really love than waste it editing, which is not my area of my passion, you know? Same thing with coding, you know, it's just not me. So, sort of letting him take care of all the YouTube stuff, which is awesome. Frees up so much of my time, and it just feels so much better now that I'm not spending bajillion hours a day editing. And then there's sort of like math homework and learning some more stuff from Russell Brunson. Most of that stuff I got through most of his education. And sent about like 50 grand in inventory over to Amazon for my uncle, which was awesome. And then I actually recorded a perfect webinar, first webinar, which is awesome for RGB Gaming Plus. And that was about like 9 to noon stuff and about my journey with investing in assets and stuff like that, which was really, really cool. So that was kind of like early November. And after that, it was a lot of work sort of on Monero ads and Amazon and for you know the towels. And that ate up a bunch of my time, but mostly I was focusing on like trading 9 to noon and then doing, I guess, like this online business stuff with Amazon. And obviously, over the weekends, it was pretty much all with the Win Friends and Influence People class, just recording. And I guess I had to get my passport and stuff, but whatever. And then also recording content for sort of the CreateX application and the Win Friends and Influence People class. Sort of about 3/4 of the way into it, this is about middle of November, it started to get really, really difficult to kind of make the class and to make the course. I started really getting drained. And so that's why I'm kind of excited now to be going on the ski trip to revitalize my energy. Because like it was hard going through all these courses and recording for hours and hours and hours on end. It's just a ridiculous amount of work. And so like it got tough. And I don't want to say it was easy because it wasn't. So definitely like a lot of to learn there about like how you can, it was kind of tough to go through all the content, tell all the stories, and I'm really proud of it now that it's done. And it just kind of shows you just kind of keep pushing. So I you know, gave some bonus content, like I said, more recording days for the friendship seminar, and then also got to build a PC again, which was awesome. Planned out a list for a client on November 11th. And then just setting up the members area again for clients for 9 to noon, and then working on email sequences for RGB Gaming Plus, and also trading a stock that doubled, which was so exciting. I love it. I love it. And then it was just a lot of work with sort of hiring some new team members to come on board and help with a lot of the content I was producing, especially for the podcast. Definitely, guys, you're gonna love the podcast. I'm so excited about it. And some other content generation I'm doing just to drive traffic to the book, which is exciting. After that, definitely a lot more learning about copywriting, just because getting closer and closer to launch, it's really important to make sure that everything converts well. And then also going through the CreateX interview process and screening everything through there, which is really cool. And so this is kind of where we get closer and closer to today, where we're at right now. Just a lot of content with CreateX dates, I mean, fun stuff. But definitely finding like co-founders and then reading, you know, a lot of reading. And I think reading is really powerful because it actually let me learn things that were useful, which is really cool and has actual marketplace applications. So a lot of really great book reviews coming out for you guys. And then just working again on like video content for the members area, and then how to win friends and influence people, the course and the books and the seminars. Definitely spent a lot of time in a seminar room over the past couple of months. Now that I actually kind of want to know like how long it took to do this, just to know. So like I just finished it today, and today's like the 13th, right? So when did I start? I guess I started in October, like on the 10th, on the 13th. Very, yeah. So I guess it basically took about 2 months to do this one. This one definitely has a lot more content in it, so I guess that makes sense. Just the recording part, definitely be about another month. So about 3 months total turnaround time for this course, which is really powerful. It's one that I know will last for a very long time and have a huge impact, because the content in it is just freaking phenomenal, game-changing stuff, which is really cool. Yeah, so after that, I did some more seminar stuff, and then I passed out, and I woke up at like 12 midnight so that I could do more seminar recording before school started the next day. That was a pretty intense day towards the end of November. So yeah, a lot more recording, just a lot of recording. I'm doing just like I said, like 3 terabytes of footage, which is a lot. Just a lot. And then probably another half a terabyte, if not 1 more terabyte, on another drive, the older drive I had. So yeah, just a lot of reading, a lot of filming, and also, you know, writing for homework and stuff, but mostly that, and then working on the Amazon business for Black Friday stuff with my uncle as a client, which is awesome. And yeah, it just kind of worked out pretty well. Working out, getting swole. Oh yeah. So once I finally finished the sales copy for the 9 to noon sales page, which took a long time, it's a long sales page. Once I finally finished that, I got back, and now we're working out every single day again, and I will not stop because working out is literally so critical, so key, so foundational. And I took a break from it to go really, really deep into some investment education and some content for online business assets. But definitely very, very happy to be back in the gym every single day, and it's just phenomenal. I'm loving it, getting swole again. Gonna join the 1,000-pound club very, very soon, which is exciting. Then after that, I started planning my second book. I'm probably not gonna start that till January, just because it's gonna be based more off like interviews and stuff, which is exciting. Yeah, I started doing some of my first big consulting for clients. Just get some income there to cover some of the freelancers that I was hiring, some of the team members, you know, on the group. Like, you know, I gotta make money. So, you know, since the book isn't live just yet, that's sort of one of the ways I was doing is by sort of just doing more high-end stuff for people that have already read my book and already know the value that I can provide to them, which was really powerful and definitely one of the great reasons to write a national bestseller, because you get a lot of clients really easily. So that was cool. Some really good movies. I've really have been enjoying my movies. I read the 80-20 Principle this year, which I am so excited to do a book review on. And it made me realize that, like, a vast majority of the output and the efforts that I do and that I have really are going to come from a minority of the efforts, right? So filming, high output stuff like this. And so I have definitely been enjoying a lot more of my time lately, especially since I've sort of had a lot of success trading lately. And the trading has just been phenomenal. The trading's only a couple of hours a day though. And so because of that, I've been enjoying my time a whole lot more, watching just a couple of more movies here and there. And it's really been nice. I'm very happy with the amount of time that I'm able to invest, not only in my businesses right now, but also my personal life, which has been really nice. Especially now that I have like a co-founder coming in with Moneras, I'm really excited to see how that scales and grows without necessarily taking 16 hours a day as much anymore. Like with this filming, I've also been cutting it down. So instead of doing 16 hours of filming, I'll do like 12 hours of filming or 14 hours of filming, and then I'll go spend 2 hours watching a movie and refresh myself. And it's been really nice just have that little bit of me time. It's been really nice, and still working towards, again, those overarching long-term goals very effectively, but just getting a little bit more time, realizing that, like, you know, may as well have some fun, because I'm getting so much stuff done that it's like, you know, the amount of output that I have in 10 hours, what most people would do in like 50 hours. So like I can afford to really just enjoy and have fun and be with family and friends and develop those masterminds and those communities and those friendships, which is really cool. And then throughout all of this, I have like weekly coaching, bi-weekly coaching meetings with mentors and stuff, which is awesome. Definitely helping me grow there. Definitely mentorship changes absolutely freaking everything. Some really big trades on flowers. Made a lot of money on them this year, on puts, on calls, on longs, on shorts. Definitely some really great swing trades there. And then trying to set up offshore brokerage accounts, which is kind of what I've been doing. This is sort of the end of November, so it's a little bit more recent. And then just recording. Actually really excited just recently to record like a back-end course for 9 to noon clients about investing in dark pools, which is super exciting. It's something that I covered very briefly in chapter 36 in the book, 9 to noon. But I'm really excited to go a lot deeper into it. And I've actually been making some of my first really big dark pool trades lately, and they've been so far phenomenally successful, which is actually cool. Doing shorts on AMD, longs on OXY, some big trades on GE, and looking just again at how like the dark pool, like literally seeing people trade hundreds of millions of dollars worth of these stocks and realizing that those are going to be the tops, those are going to be the bottoms. So some really phenomenal trading, some great opportunities, basically all the time, which is awesome. So yeah, recording that's you know, that's a pretty long class, that's a pretty long course, and then also doing some personal advising for clients in that space about that content and recording that and using that as very valuable content for 90 new members. So it's all going to get edited soon enough. And yeah, then just kind of recording the Win Friends and Influence People Masterclass, and then doing 90 new members area content for like the weeks of implementation, coaching, training. it's this program I want to do. So people get the book, and then they also get access to like the weekly implementation. Become a millionaire training. So that's a lot of extra work and valuable content on how to really create real savings in retirement with quality investments in financial markets, which I'm super pumped about. After that, do a little bit more about marketing, also reading a lot of books, and I opened a Roth IRA, which is so exciting. I sort of glanced over it just because it wasn't as important, but I got a job at school taking notes in some of my classes that are just ridiculously boring, but you have to take notes in them, and they have this disabilities services department in the school that basically they give kids, if you can give the kids that have disabilities your notes and you'll get paid for it. And so started doing that and started having more earned income. And since I had earned income and not capital gains or business income that I was leaving in the company, I started using a lot of that money, which is going to basically be tax-free, since it's low, since I don't realize a lot of my income and I leave it in assets. So I'm going to take a lot of that. I took a lot of that income, put that into Roth account, which is super exciting, and I've been day trading in the Roth, which has been phenomenal, making like 10% a day basically with that, which is really cool because you turn that into 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 figures and you're paying literally 0 taxes on it, which is pretty freaking sweet. Really cool stuff. The worst case scenario is pay 10% penalty if you take it out early. You just don't take it out earlier. I don't know, it's really cool. Really big trip for Thanksgiving, which was awesome. Got to learn more about dark pools and investing and do some investments, and also spend a lot of time with my grandparents. And while this was going on, I invested in this course by Maxim Trubinsky about how to do really solid Facebook advertising and Instagram influencer advertising. At the time, I actually started my first campaign for RGB Gaming Plus, started running traffic there, sold a couple dozen mice so far, and keyboards and headsets, which is super exciting and super fun. So I'm really pumped about that. And so learning and applying and starting to drive traffic, create revenue, and just run advertising for those companies, or for the RGB Gaming Plus company. Which is super exciting, and yeah, it just worked out kind of really well. So yeah, learning more through those courses, learning more through books, and also just having fun with family, spending Thanksgiving with cousins and grandparents, and just having a great time. After that, again, learning from those courses on marketing, because there were like some cool Black Friday sales, and it was just great stuff. And I got to trade with my grandparents, which was so much fun. Trading was phenomenal. I love it. And then we kind of drove home, and yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. Recording courses, Dark Pool Secrets Masterclass. I was doing a lot of work on that. I took a break from the Win Friends and Influence People class just because I was a little bit tired of it. Just because when you do things for 2 months, you get sick of it. I don't know. But anyway, actually, I was doing that more so for one of my clients that they really wanted to learn about it. So I wanted to give it to them as soon as possible since they were paying top dollar for it. So yeah, so we're recording that class on how to trade dark pool stuff, and all for clients too, for 9 to noon clients, which is super cool. And then after that, that was the end of November. A lot of filming, a lot of filming, and after that, we're kind of here. Sort of the end of the month, working on finals, English projects, math, stuff like that, just to finish up the semester. And trade every single day, which is so much fun. And also get a lot of the content edited, and really everything kind of tying itself together, wrapping itself up, taking final exams for the semester, teaching some really powerful stuff to clients, which is awesome. And yeah, I mean, a lot of video content for sure. Finishing up a lot of content for the Win Friends and Influence People class, and studying for math. I really tried, man. I gave it my all year. I got a D in math, which makes me sad. I really tried. Like every single time there was a test, every single time there was anything, I was constantly studying. I was tutoring every day. Like I had one-on-one tutoring, I had group tutoring. I put everything I had into it. And I really tried, but it just didn't work out, which kind of sucked. So probably gonna have to take math again, which I don't know, man. Differential calc. Whatever. We'll see how it goes. Just like the finals for all that stuff. Some really big trades on some dark pool trades and the 9 noon trade, which is awesome. Uploading a lot of files over to my editor, which is sweet. And then working on the upsell page for How to Win Friends and Influence People. That was very recent. Yeah. And then reading, I got the E-Myth. Oh my god, so good. So many awesome books. And also learning how to speed read. I learned how to speed read, but I took the speed reading class just a couple of days ago, which was really good. So I'm really excited about that. Learning from Howard Burns, who's the world's fastest speed reader, and then also Russell, who's just phenomenal. And also learning some more stuff from Russell about funnel hacking and looking at just a couple of his extra courses, but really now moving on from education to implementation. And then we get to this weekend. Basically, I spent all my time with the Win Friends and Influence People Masterclass, and I just finished that. And watched some fun movies with family and had a good time, and traded, which is so fun. And after this, tomorrow, I'm going to do some really important mapping out of sort of the core business concepts with Muhammad, with Monerads, and we're going to start developing, he's going to start developing the actual software. He has just so much experience in blockchain, so much experience in software, so much experience in web development. I'm so fortunate, so happy to be working with him. And on Sunday, which is next day, I'm getting on a plane, and I'm so grateful. I'm going to go on the ski trip with the CRC, which is the gym at the school. And for about a week, we're going to go to Steamboat in Colorado, which is phenomenal. 5 days of ski. It's going to be the best thing ever. I love skiing. It's my favorite thing ever. And then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to go with my dad to Austria, to the Alps in Europe, and we're going to ski there for about 2 weeks, which is going to be so much fun. It's phenomenal time. Great time to reset. And it's just been amazing. Really great year. I've heard a lot from a lot of the students that I've been teaching. Now that the book has been out there for a while, it's been so awesome to hear kids or students, like just today, my buddy Jake freaking called me. He's making 50% a day, 5 days this week, which is phenomenal. One of my mentors, Pam, she made $50,000. That's insane this week. I mean, just so much success to people that are actually implementing what I'm teaching in 9 to noon. And it just means so much to see it like have an impact on people. So I'm really excited next year. Biggest things, really, I really want to sell 100,000 copies of the book and get 700,000 a month in recurring revenue. So that's a really big thing, and also a lot of work next year on Monerads. When we win the CreateX, that should be about $50,000 in funding and patents and startup capital that we can use basically for free and free mentorship and everything, which is going to be phenomenal. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to participate in that. And then have the co-founder and have another coder that I found, Ryan. I didn't even talk about him, but another coder that I brought in to work on the company. So just such an all-around phenomenal. I'm really excited. So the goals again are based around the online businesses with 9 to noon, and then RGB Gaming Plus with funnels and ClickFunnels and marketing and online business assets, and obviously trading like every single day is gonna be the best thing ever. I love it. And then working really hard on those swing trades with the 9 to noon member site. There's a little bit, you give basically like, obviously every single week there's like coaching and training, and there's also like this like low teeny like monthly fees, like pennies an hour. And alongside that, I take like a bulk of the money that comes in from that and I invest it into assets. So a lot of really great swing trades I'm excited to do for that. Really fun to invest a lot of that money and turn it into sort of like a mini little hedge fund, which is super cool and be all my own. I don't have to get any of this regulation crap about having to have an undergraduate degree to manage finances and manage assets for other people professionally. And then Monerads, huge, very focused on startup. I can see myself, 8 months from now, standing on front of that stage in front of CreateX, talking about how insanely powerful we are, getting in front of the best people possible. I really want to get the New York Times as a client. I know that if we do, we can easily make them $1 million a year, leveraging the people that are at their website right now using AdBlock and not making them any money. So really excited about those core things. And just a lot of work in business assets and investments, and always on that slow, steady grind of constantly always trading, which is my big passion. So just some really cool stuff this year. A lot of stuff about building assets. And now I'm very grateful to be able to ski and really take some time to reset. I think it's so critical that you do have that time, once a year to do that sport or do that thing that really will allow you to focus just on you. You look at Bill Gates. He spends 2 weeks every year in the forest with pen and paper. With no electronics, nothing, and you just need time to reset. And all my greatest mentors have all told me this, and I love skiing so much, and I can't wait. Oh my god, it's gonna be so fun. I've never been skiing out of the country before, and it's just gonna be phenomenal. I'm so excited. So really great year. Really, really, really great year. I'm excited. Last year I said I was going to do a whole lot of work on YouTube. I think I have far surpassed my expectations. I've uploaded literally hundreds of videos. I know you guys can't see them yet because they're unlisted in their courses, but literally thousands of hours, I'd say, of recording and of editing's all. I mean, that's all on top of that. But literally, like so much work has gone into this year creating content. Obviously with the podcast and with YouTube, and actually I kind of forgot to tell you guys about this, but basically with Facebook, I started attracting the wrong audience, and I had people that were literally calling me from India that were like 40, and they were like, "Oh, you're investing," and I'm like, "What the hell, dude? I don't like." I really, really value my time, and I'm not just gonna throw it away and just talk to people on the phone for an hour that like aren't even like whatever. Like if you want to talk to me, you can pay me, and I will consult you. But like I don't give away time for like whatever, right? And so after that, I stopped Facebook. Just wasn't getting my target audience. I started thinking about like 15 to 35 year olds is really what I'm targeting. And so Instagram was really the biggest thing for that. So I started breaking into Instagram. And if you guys have seen, I've basically been uploading a video on Instagram every single day for the last month or two. And I'm going to continue to do that. That's a new habit that I'm going to stick with, is just constantly uploading onto Instagram. And then doing podcasts pretty much every single day from this point forward and having them all edited by my guys. I'm really excited about the podcast. I hope that I'm just really pumped about it. So got about 100-ish episodes so far, and hopefully, we'll continue to grow that. 1 or 2 a day, probably 1 a day. I was doing 2 a day earlier just because I had 2 bike rides to get to school and back. But now that I'm at school and I have my time, I have my microphone, all my setups, really exciting to be able to work on that. So yeah, those are kind of some of the biggest things. It's kind of been tough, separating from my mom for the first time ever. So we'll see her soon after the new year and all that stuff, and really, really fun stuff there. So yeah, it's been a phenomenal year. Some really, really great investments. And a big year for the market too. Like honestly, there was an inverted yield curve this year in August. And historically, you guys saw the inverted yield curve video. Basically we're looking at, I don't know, maybe a year left until the market crashes. So definitely looking to make a lot of money in the next year-ish with the book, so that I can invest, a lot of it. Honestly, like, people say, like, wait for the market to crash and then invest at the bottom. But with swing trading, and once you know what the hell you're doing with individual stocks, it's actually really easy to just make money all the time. So it's not really about market timing. It's just puts, calls, shorts, longs, whatever. So yeah, I don't know, just kind of something to think about. Hopefully next year we won't be in a recession, but there's a good chance it'll start next year, so we'll see what happens. Definitely though, everything's out of industry. You guys can watch my video on the inverted yield curve, and it'll tell you more about this, all this stuff, which is awesome. So yeah, I mean, that was 2019, and I'm really happy for it. I'm really thankful for it, and I really, really appreciate it. I think one of the biggest game changers this year was this daily journal. It like literally skyrocketed my productivity and growth. I'm very, very, very glad that I made this, and I uncovered sort of the secrets behind the mentality inside of it while I was writing 9 to Noon, and working so much. And hopefully, next year we're going to start to see some of the fruits of this labor. We're going to start to see some passive recurring income from Moneras, from 9 to Noon, from RGB Gaming Plus, from some of these companies and some of these assets, these businesses that I've been building. And hopefully I'll be able to kind of focus. I'm already focusing a lot of my efforts on 9 to Noon trading. And I've done the same thing next semester, where I block out 9 to Noon and I just trade from that time period, which is the dream, my goal. I love it. And a lot of my students have been doing the same thing, because a lot of them are in college too, which is awesome. Makes me so proud, so excited, so happy. And alongside, just all in all, it's just been really, really awesome. And I'm really, really excited sort of to continue on the next year. And after all this course stuff gets done, I'll do another reflection day, and I'll kind of see what's the next step for this growth, right? What's the next step? What's the next thing to do? But besides that, you're solid. You're really solid. It's been a phenomenal year. Some of the biggest takeaways really is turning into the king, building assets, which is pretty cool. And just a lot of stuff with like online business assets, which is sweet. Definitely, I think what I've learned this year probably would have taken me 5 years to learn if I didn't actually invest a significant sum of money in my own education. And so I'm very, very thankful for the opportunity to do that. And I've just had so measurably much value from Russell Brunson and everything he's taught. It's been phenomenal. And I can't thank him. It's such an amazing year. It's so much amazing education. So I'm really happy to really be able to learn from somebody who actually knows what the hell they're talking about, rather than math. So yeah, that's 2019. Freaking really good stuff. A lot of content, and I think I've really kind of blown away the goals I set last year. For the next year, you know, I really am just, it's just business. It's just business. I guess the metrics, it's the numbers I want to hit. But at the core, it's just growth. So that's sort of the goal. That's the big takeaway. That's the big development, and that's kind of where we are right now. I wanted to make this before I went skiing just because I want to be sort of, you know, all in, paying attention. Because skiing is like the dream, and I'm so excited about it. So, yeah. I hope you guys get a ton of value from this. Go out there, apply it, absolutely crush it, and sort of do your own reflection. Think about, you know, what do you need to get done in a year to feel fulfilled and to feel like you're achieving things. Second semester of college, I guess, just finished too, which is cool. Yeah. I don't know, man. Computer engineering, it kind of aligns with my overarching long-term goals, so we'll see how it works out. I'm excited for it. I'm just ridiculously tired, so I'm gonna go pass out, guys. Well, actually, I'm not gonna pass. Whatever. So hey, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing, amazing, amazing day, an amazing year. And definitely watch out. There are so many videos in the pipeline. They all just need to be edited. And yeah, it's just not enough hours in the day, which is, it's a good problem to have, to be backlogged. It's a good problem to have. So thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Bye. Thanks.